All right, so you probably have heard about Pastor Simmons out of the church in Tallahassee, Florida, who was caught by the husband of one of Pastor Simmons' members, whom he went over to her house to have a conversation about church business, and he said things took an inappropriate turn. So the husband came home and caught him in the bed with his wife and chased him out with a pistol, and so he's, in trouble with the law. And so the pastor Simmons delivers an apology, so to speak, from the pulpit. So where he says, if I was to step down, that would, because of what I did, that would presuppose that I was qualified before. And so wait a minute. What do you mean that presupposes that you were qualified before? If you were an adulterer before, you probably should have told the people who elected you into office as pastor. They wouldn't have done that for you. And so the idea that because you weren't qualified before and you were a wretch before, all of those things are spiritual things in God's eyes. But God is not your membership. God is not in your congregation, right? You ain't teaching and leading and setting the example for God. These are for people. And so these people need an example of what happens to somebody when they sin against God. Yes, you sin. Yes, we all have sinned and fall short of the glory of God. But because of this leadership position that you hold, you ought to set the example for people that says, when you sin against God in a real way and you sin against people, you ought to step down until you get to the point where your voice is not drowned out by the sound of your sin. This is why many people don't take Christians seriously, because we're so hypocritical in so many ways. See, this kind of grace that you dispense on yourself at this convenient time where you're able to say, oh, well, my deacons can try to force me out all they want to, but we're moving forward. What do you mean we? You talking about me and my congregation, we're moving forward. What do you mean we? Your congregation wasn't in the bed with that man's wife. It was you. Your wife wasn't in the bed with that man's wife. It was you. What do you mean we're moving forward? No, you need to step down. See, and people see this hypocrisy and the grace that you are dousing upon yourself, talking about you ready to move forward. See, what you're really saying is you don't want to step down. You don't want to step down. You think that your position is so important that the church won't move forward without you. The church will move forward, but the church needs to move forward without you, sir, with all due respect. Listen, I hope that I never end up in that situation. Listen, I ain't going to nobody's house to talk church business if their husband ain't there. It just ain't happening. It's not that I don't trust myself. Dude, I don't trust that situation. And I ain't putting myself in there as a minister of God. I ain't putting myself in that situation because it could cause people to stumble. And that's what you are doing, my friend. You are causing people to stumble. And it's unfortunate and it's sad. And for everybody who is an unbeliever, who has things to say about the church, I'm saying to you, I apologize. This is foolishness. This needs to stop and needs to be dealt with from the highest levels. We are required to set an example for people, and we're missing out. Every time we douse this kind of grace on us, we won't give gays the same grace. We want to sit them down from leadership when we find out they're gay. The single mama in the church who gets pregnant, she gets to sit down, but you get to move forward. Get out of here with that foolishness. Subscribe right there. I'm coming back. I ain't going nowhere.